Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Oh Yes, Honey. My name is Tracie.
My name is Jessie, and we are so excited to be here today. Oh Yes, Honey has a new offering to be shared, both in this idea of retreats. Tracie, you got to share the retreat.
Yes, I will. So, I have launched the Leader Wellness Retreat happening here in San Miguel de Allende. It is November 9th through the 13th. It is for women who need a break. It is for women in leadership. If you are a woman who is a business owner, a woman who is in constant go mode, this is your opportunity to rest, reset, and rejuvenate. We are going to have daily yoga and meditation. I'm going to incorporate a silent hour, no cell phones, no external stimulation, no social media whatsoever. It is going to be you, your thoughts, your journal, and nature, and getting you to really listen to and embody the silence and for you to be able to see what comes out of that. There is going to be a cocktail hour, so an opportunity for those who choose to get rejuvenated and revitalized through IV nutrients and vitamin infusions. There is going to be private chef. I also thought this week as I went on my walk, I was like, I think I might ask my housekeeper to come every day just to make sure everybody's room is comfortable and clean, because when we have a clean environment we can think and be. But also a traditional Mexican temazcal will be added if you choose to. What else do we have planned? It is horseback riding is going to be an option for you to be out in nature, because I absolutely love horseback riding, and so much more. So, if you are in Reiki, massage,
Okay.
Reiki, like all of the good things, and this was my brainchild, and is my baby, because when I sold my company, I really wanted to speak to women who are in high demand, women who own their own companies, who own their own businesses, but have limited opportunity or chance to revitalize and reset and be poured into the way they pour into other people. So this is what this is about. It is, and I'll drop the link in the description. It is the Leader Wellness Retreat happening November 9th through the 13th here in San Miguel de Allende, the beautiful, picturesque San Miguel de Allende, Mexico. We'll be coming off Dia de los Muertos, going into the Christmas season in Mexico come September 16th. Is festive throughout the remainder of the year, because we go from Independence Day to Dia de los Muertos to all the Christmas holidays. So it's going to be so beautiful here, and it's going to be
The
hosted.
door walk. I was there at Christmas
Yeah,
time. The door walk, like picturesque every single door. There's like a whole, like almost like a competition for who
it
makes the most.
is. It is exactly, but this is for those high achieving women who need a break. And it is my opportunity and my pleasure to be able to put something on like this, to live in such a beautiful place that for me has offered a great deal of healing.
Mm.
And I want to give that back to other women, because that's just what we do.
Is what our topic was today, because I feel like that I love that we put this front and center, because basically this you said it this morning, but it's chasing freedom and peace.
Yeah, through pleasure. Yeah.
And I feel like that's one thing that you and I have really put front and center in our lives. I liked that you really tied it, and it was an awakening for me as well. Like, being an entrepreneur is one of the reasons that we've chased that freedom, to give ourselves the opportunity to go where we want to go. But it takes a priority to make that around pleasure, because we're well trained, I think, to do all of that, freedom of choice, but then to burden ourselves. And I
Mhm.
think so the women you just talked to in the retreat center would really feel that, like, idea of like, oh yeah, I put all this on me. There's certainly the cultural things, but I'm signing up to be the CEO of all of my 4 companies. And then it's like, wait a minute. So orienting, which is, I think, this space of really saying, okay, what is it like to center on chasing that freedom and peace through pleasure? And we always like to give in these bite-sized chunks, like a little way to do that. So share this morning what you just said about how you wake up every day. Because
Yeah,
I do this too, but not as conscious. You just put it in, whoop, like right there. Like,
yeah.
okay.
So, you know me, I live in a land of delusion, and I am okay with that because I'm a firm believer in manifesting the life that I desire and deserve and creating it and calling it into me in real time in the space of abundance. So, every morning in my mind, in my morning meditations, I wake up in a place. And lately, I've been waking up in the Amalfi Coast. So, and it's so vivid to me. So this morning, I woke up in the Amalfi Coast and I pull the drapes and I see the same vision. So I know it's happening. And, it's just currently in a different timeline. I just need to call it in. So, but here I am. I wake up and I pull the curtains back. We're in a hotel. We're high up in the hotel. So we have a beautiful view of the sea. I have on a kimono and I'm just looking out at the sea and it's beautiful sunny morning. So
Mm.
that is where I woke up this morning. Where did you wake up this morning?
Mm. Well, I woke up in Kintaroo with the
Yes.
sea breeze of the different side of the ocean, and
Yes.
um, to me, it's when the rain, like after the thunderstorm, when the rains are just like clinging in the air, there's that energized, ionized air, and
Mhm.
um, but the warm temperature, like almost amniotic, like it's just like when my body temperature is exactly the same temperature as what I imagine what it would be like to be in that womb space again, because homeostasis is like my body is immersed in the environment. There's no separation in
There
that.
is no separation. There is no separation. And I love that you said that. Quintana Roo is one of my favorite states here in Mexico. And when I tell you that Caribbean Sea, there's nothing like it.
Oh, the blue green. There's so much about that water that just always has attracted me since the first time I went to Isla Mujeres and was called by Ishel to be there. And then I discovered that it was actually in my lineage, my Mexican grandmother ancestry, that pinged up when my brother did his piece and was like, and this, guess what? Your 8% is there. And I was like, oh, that ancestors are totally calling me there. And yeah, and in terms of like this is full on, we call them muumuus. You said kimono, but I mean raised in Hawaii, it's like this is muumuu era.
Yeah, it's
Day, but typically I'm wearing a muumuu every day.
yeah, I love that for you because I can see that. I remember so vividly, we were sitting in my living room back in Atlanta, and you were like, Tracie, you need to go to Mexico. This was in 2021. I think we had just gotten married. We had gone back to the house. We were sitting in my meditation room, and you were like, you need to go to Mexico. I'm like, Jesse, why? Being a California girl, I'm like, why am I going to Mexico? It was just down the street. But and that was in September 21. And then in May of 2022, I went to Tulum. And so we flew into Cancun, went to Tulum for the very first time. And when I tell you, when I landed in the airport and walked outside, I was like, I get it. It was instant for me. I was like, I get it. And it was on that trip, probably day 4 of that trip, that I fell in love with the country. And then you just couldn't keep me out. And then I was like, okay, now I'm just living here. That's it. That's it.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I know that land too. That it speaks. I mean, there's so much that speaks to me there with the cenotes, the like your land and sea and the combination. I just feel like your body becomes all one. And this is a spiritual conversation. This isn't like the way that tourism has moved in
Mhm, mhm,
that pleasure component.
mhm,
I think that was my teaching with Ishel as well, as she really was calling me to really be in that embodied space. That's one of
mhm,
her gifts, is like, okay, you might be be the portal, your lightning bolts and all the energy coming through, which is one of her, qualities. She's fertility goddess, childbirth goddess. Isla Mujeres is her temple. And she also is like the goddess of lightning and transformation. And that for me, that was such an interesting journey because she came, like I walked, as soon as I got on the airplane, looked at the map, saw that existed. My whole body shifted when it was like, oh, Isla Mujeres, Island of Women. And then when I got to the hotel, there was one little cloud with a lightning bolt that went through it.
mhm.
I was like, okay. I went all the, I walked just randomly without knowing how to get down to where the ferries were. And then this couple showed up and they were sitting there. I was just sitting alone. They're like, "Oh, you need these tamales," and handed me food. And
You
I
do.
was like, "Okay, I do need these." And I had one for myself, and then I got across through the ferry with that incredible water, just like just everything in my body was like, this is saying yes to this. Got to the other side and said, "Okay, I need to go to this place." And the man didn't even know what I was talking about. He kept driving me to all the churches.
Hmm.
Like, no, here, here. And he got me there. And then he was so amazing. He's like, "Well, I don't want to leave you here. I'm going to come back in 2 hours." And I'm like, "Oh, it's just a little island. I'm happy to walk back." He's like, "No, I'm going to come back." It was like I
Hmm.
was escorted. And then
Hmm.
the most incredible, like, movie, like, because it's the southernmost tip
Hmm.
of, it was like a lightning storm all the way around. So it was like three
Hmm.
lightning storm. And then I brought out this tamale to her temple, and yeah, there were so many little details there where it was just like it was like full on, like you're going to be initiated.
Yeah, you speak of Kantanuru so often, and we are, in 2026, we are planning in our minds to
Yes.
have a pleasure retreat. And it came to me, that's the space that we need to have it. You love Kantanuru so much, and Kantanuru, I've been all throughout the state, and it is one of my favorite states here in the country. So just stay tuned for that. But I think it's deeper for you because you are like that space in particular has really called not only an awakening for you, but it continues to call you. And that's one of the things that I love about Mexico is it's such a healing space. If it's meant for you to heal here, you will absolutely heal.
Mhm. And that is the invitation we could ask everyone, like, where do you want to wait? Where do you wake up? If you can just imagine that moment when you're like waking up and visualizing what land is calling you, because the land is wanting to talk to us. It is pleasure is based in the embodiment of the landscape that we can be in virtually or in real time.
Yeah, I was at the waters on the edge of Tulum in one of my scouting trips back and forth to the country before we officially moved here in 2023. And I went to the water's edge and I asked the ancestors of the land, I said, if it's meant for me to be here, first of all, thank you. Show me the way and guide me. And it has not let me down. It has been such a transformative experience. And I think it removes when you ask permission of the land and of the ancestors of the land, no matter where on the globe that you're calling, being called or led to be, it not only opens the doors, but it creates a life of ease because you've come with honor and
Mm.
respect and reverence, and that is it continues to just like fill my spirit, and I just want to share with everybody. I want to share with everybody.
I feel it. I feel it's really interesting. That's something I don't know. There's a lot of hard stuff in the world, but one thing I really noticed is in my body, it just feels like it, I don't know, it just feels like that vacation day, even though there's real practical things to be challenged by, but in my cells, it just feels like that. So I
Yeah,
look forward to coming back soon.
yeah, we can't wait. I can't wait. No matter where I will meet you, Quintana Roo. I mean, I love it. I might actually have to go to Puerto Vallarta because another friend is coming into town just to drop in and say hello. But how are you chasing your freedom and peace through pleasure?
Yes.
Where are you guys waking up? How are you manifesting and calling it into your life? What do you look like? What are you wearing? I want you guys to get so detailed.
Mhm.
What are you getting ready to eat? Like I asked Honey the same question. Where did you wake up? And she said Paris, and I'm going to a cafe to get coffee. It's like, okay, like what are you eating? What are you wearing? What are you seeing? What are you smelling?
Yes.
You smell the rain over the Caribbean Sea. Like
Mhm.
that's the most beautiful. Because I know exactly what that looks like. So it's so beautiful and so lush and so green. But we invite you guys to, as you continue to understand and embody what living a pleasure-centered life looks like and how to craft that, where are you waking up, and get as detailed and as delusional and as vivid as you can possibly be.
Delulu, let's do it.
Thank you guys so much for joining us on another edition of Oh Yes Honey. I am Tracie.
I am Jessie, and we look forward to seeing you soon.
Yes. Bye everyone.